Hey there, Storm fans. Bryant Cook here, and today I'm going to play an idea. This isn't an official version, it's just something I've been working on in passing. A good friend of mine, Wonder Pro, aka Max Carini, all that good stuff, wonderful Doomsday player, has been trying to get me to cut Brainstorm for some time now. And I've played it in the past, and it just hasn't worked for me, but I think I'm starting to realize that maybe Jund TES is the way to go. So I played in the Legacy Showcase today, and there's been a glaring hole in 4.2. So this deck bullies fair blue decks. So the Jeskai control decks, the Delver decks, Stoneblade, all of those sorts of strategies crushes them. I started off 2-0-4-0, beating Shardless Rhinos in Legacy, and then Grixis control. I mean, further proves my point. But this deck, I think it's an amazing choice if you could eliminate 3 decks from the format: 8 Cast, Doomsday, and Cephalid Breakfast. It's terrible against all 3 of those, and all 3 of them towards the top of the metagame currently. So when you look at the deck, it's just against the hyper fast blue decks that are also combo decks. Veil of Summer isn't enough versus a Force of Will plus a turn 2 or turn 3 combo. It's just not good enough, and that is a large part of the problem. Against 8 cast, Chalice of the Void plus Force of Will is a really big issue. So how do you solve that? Well, Beseiju has been wonderful for me against Chalice of the Void, and that's great and all, but they're in the sideboard. You have Abrupt Decay. I've tried putting Beseiju in the main deck. It's actually really tough. There just isn't slots. You could cut maybe the third Urza's Bauble and go up to 13 lands, but that's realistically all you could do. But maybe that's a choice that you can make. I mean, I might try that in the future. So coming back to the Jund list, you get to play the Beseiju in the main deck, and then you get to play main deck Thoughtseize for those blue combo decks. The downside is with this list, you lose some consistency. You're not playing Brainstorm anymore. So you admittedly, that consistency out the window. So you're trading consistency for being able to be better against the decks you're weak against. But you're really making Galvanic Relay a better player as well, because by playing 3 Thoughtseize in the main deck, you don't have to board out Galvanic Relay versus non-blue anymore. And I think that's actually really interesting because you can lean into making this a better card in those matchups, which I think is actually really important because against non-blue right now, we board out Galvanic Relay, and that's a card I want to make work versus non-blue. So the Jund list is doing something. You could theoretically also look at something like this and play Thoughtseize in the main deck and don't play Veil, but I think that's kind of sketchy as well. Like you could play 1 Veil of Summer, 3 Thoughtseize, but I don't know. I'm not sold on that. So there's a lot of things going wrong. I've also tested a Singleton Void Snare in the sideboard over Massacre. I didn't really like that. So coming back to the Jund list, you really get the best of everything, but you lose that consistency from Brainstorm. We'll see how it goes today. I've tested it in the past, but the last time I played it, I was running a main deck Tendrils of Agony, and if you know me, I hate the main deck Tendrils so much. I'm tired of having people trick me into playing that garbage card. So we're not going to play it. Instead, we're going to run the 3rd Thoughtseize instead and see how this does in a Legacy League. So hope you enjoy the video. Maybe Jund TES is the way to go. Let's find out. I'll see you in the first match. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, early access to videos, exclusive members-only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, sideboard guides, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, like theepicstorm.com/shop or submitting a donation deck via theepicstorm.com/donation decks. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. Round number 1, we are on the play. Jund the Epic Storm. I don't know what our opponent's playing, but this has everything other than the payoff. I'll keep this. Who needs lands anyway? Lion's Eye Diamond on the stack. We'll play another one. Mox Opal. Lotus Petal. Mishra's Bauble. And another Bauble. If you wanted to, you could have gotten a little tricky and tried to get your opponent to force a will or Rite of Flame there. I don't know if our opponent's even on a blue deck, but if they were, you could hold the second Bauble, cast Rite of Flame, and see if they'd force it, fearing Galvanic Relay. They reveal Marsh Flat, so it's not likely a blue deck. Maybe Reanimator? Cycle Street Wraith. So maybe the Orzhov Scam deck? I'm not really sure what's going on here. And, well, it's looking a little scam-like. Okay. So we're going to lose our Rite of Flame here. We'll bobble them, and now we have 3 looks at a card that wins the game for us. Reanimate. Okay, so we have 2 bobble triggers, and then our draw step. Lotus Petal, bobble, and Burning Wish. That's a Peer into the Abyss. Who needs lands anyway? Hold priority, and let's cast that Peer. Be careful when you're selecting, and I say that because, as you saw, the size of what I was allowed to select was ultra tiny. Wizards or Magic Online, whoever, should really get that fixed. And that's game number 1. So we're facing some sort of Rakdos Scam deck. I don't think we need Thoughtseize in that particular matchup, so we can board that out. And I'm interested in Besaiju's and Abrupt Decays here. We might want Ave as well, just because it allows us to beat Surgical. I like Echo versus this kind of strategy. I also like the Ad Nauseam. So we're in a little bit of a bind here. I think on the draw, maybe you can board out 1 Veil of Summer. It's a lot of mana value in the deck, but I think having access to these cards is fairly important. Game number 2 on the draw will keep. This hand's pretty close to being able to slam an Ave Progenitor Ruse. The problem is, we're facing Orzhov Scam. They're probably going to discard us 3 times by the end of their second turn. Dothy Voidwalker. Okay. Bayou. Noble Hierarch. Come on, deck. What do we want here? Lotus Petal doesn't do it. Draw. Another land, okay. I'm going to choose to play out 1 bobble here. Wasteland. And Dothy. No discard spells, so maybe we can get lucky and find what we need. I don't think there's really a point to targeting myself when they're holding open a Wasteland. Actually, I have a basic Swamp in the deck. So yeah, we can target ourselves. I forgot about the basic Swamp. Don't think I necessarily want that, so we'll fetch for the Swamp. Alright, so Lotus Petal, another Opal, Bobble, another Diamond. I think I'm willing to cycle another Mishra's Bobble. We'll pass the turn. So next turn we have a guaranteed Ave if we can get through another turn cycle without being discarded. They swing for 4. Forgot about basic Swamp in the face of Wasteland. Pretty good. Okay, we'll bobble them. Grief. Draw off the bobble. Another bobble. Bobbles galore. Play the Bayou. We'll fetch. We're at 13. Or, I'm sorry, 14. Sweet. Lion's Eye Diamond. Mox Opal. Lion's Eye Diamond. Mishra's Bobble. Green. Green. Black. Green. Ave Progenitor Ooze for 6. Okay, we have a lot of slime on the battlefield. Our opponent taps a black. They untap, they tap again. What's going on here? Abrupt Decay? They changed their mind again. Sure. Good deal. We are 1-0. Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Token Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $14.99. This combo token pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens. That includes our classic Storm and mana tokens, as well as fan favorites such as Goblins, Squirrels, and Slime Time Live. But that's not all. We've expanded this token pack to cover a variety of formats with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game. Round 2, we're on the play. Don't think I'm allowed to keep this in any single matchup. Mulligan. This is fairly good. So we're missing a payoff, but the rest of it's quite incredible. We'll keep this and get rid of the Dark Ritual. Turn 1 Taiga, pass the turn. Tundra, okay. Another Mox Opal, unfortunate. We'll have to pass. The only silver lining of drawing this is that if we're fortunate enough to find a Burning Wish, it gives us enough mana for Peer into the Abyss. Uh-oh. Not what I was expecting here. And we don't have anything to put onto the table. There's an Omniscience. Shimmer of Possibility. Looking a little bit like Pioneer at the moment. Ponder. They do not shuffle on the ponder, so we're probably dead. There's a Cunning Wish. Invert, invent. Sure. So they're searching their deck for an instant or sorcery. For a main deck copy of Intuition. They target us. I could have veiled that. Whoops. I could have veiled this. Damn. My bad. In my head, I had already like mentally checked out that I had lost. We gotta draw on Thoughtseize into Lotus Petal, so we probably still not winning this, but oh well. That was a mistake on my part. Okay, so the other Boseiju is probably something good here. I wonder if we want to try the surgical plan where we just like Thoughtseize Omniscience and then exile it, or Show and Tell. That's 64. If you're going to do this, I kind of want to board out Baubles. Let's go. Alright. Relay's a little bit slow here. We have one more piece of mana. I'm going to mulligan. And I'm punished. To 5. So I guess we keep this. I'm not really sure what else to do. Going it with a Leyline of Sanctity. Okay. Definitely punished for mulliganing my 7, but like I couldn't like our opponent just turned 2'd us game 1. Am I really supposed to keep a hand that can't even Galvanic Relay in turn 2? Draw. Okay, so we're 1 mana away from Ad Nauseam. They have 6 cards. Draw, Relay, and step Brainstorm. They pick up another Tundra. So traditionally, these blue-white Omni-Tell lists often have Wafer Orm's Chant, which is just the worst possible thing for Storm, but I don't know. Draw. Guess I pass the turn. And step Intuition. Cunning Wish. Brainstorm. Am I dead? Looks like I'm dead. I play a Ponder. May have found Cunning Wish. Yeah, we're going to pick it up here. Okay, well this round was pretty bad for us, but I didn't play it perfectly either. Kind of my own fault. It took a risk. Mulliganing in game 2 was severely punished. So when you mulligan, by the way, it's more damning when you are on a Jund list because Brainstorm can fix a lot of low mulligans. Like you mulligan to 5 and it has a Brainstorm. You can sort of put back extra copies of Mox Opal that you might draw or things like that. Well, when you're Jund, you're not allowed to do that sort of thing. So it didn't come up here, but just something worth noting. We're 1-1. Let's see how the remaining matches go. With Card Hoarder, renting your favorite combo deck has never been easier. There isn't a more affordable solution for Magic Online. Want to play the deck in this video? Check out the pinned comment below to easily rent the deck from Card Hoarder. Did you know you can rent the Epic Storm from Card Hoarder for as little as 7 tickets a week? We've made it simple to do so by including a button to rent the entire deck at theepicstorm.com/decklist. Round 3 on the play. I guess we can keep this. I'm not really sure what our opponent's playing, but their name is Emra-Kool, so we'll see. We're just going to start off with the Verdant Catacombs and pass the turn. Lotus Petal. Okay, so they're on initiative. And our deck is cold to Archon of Emeria no matter what, so I think we're just forced to concede here. Yeah, no Void Snare. Cool. You got me. Alright, Veil of Summer comes out. In these matchups, you board an Abrupt Decay, the Boseiju, and the 4th Thoughtseize. Clean board map. Game 2 on the play. So close. We have to mulligan this. This hand can theoretically beat an Archon, so let's keep it. Burning Catacombs, pass the turn. Lotus Petal, Ancient Tomb, and Archon of Emeria. Never gets old. We'll fetch, grab our Taiga. That happens. Draw for turn. Okay, so the Bayou comes into play tapped due to the Archon, so they're going to get a few free turns out of this. In theory, you could have been saying, well, Bryant, if you had played the Bayou first, you could fetch for the Swamp. That's true. However, the Verdant comes into play tapped, and then you don't have a red source for your Burning Wish. 4 mana. They want to go to attacks before playing their spell in second main phase, which is fine. And then they just pass, so no spell in second main phase. Play the Badlands, pass. So we could have Abrupticated in our main phase there, and then gone Badlands, Rite of Flame, Burning Wish, Echo with no mana floating. I don't think that's the game I want to play. We just have a Peer into the Abyss if I'm willing to be a little bit more patient. 4 mana. Interesting that they didn't do that last turn. Oh, it's because they played the Chromox. They weren't allowed to. Yeah, it's funny how symmetrical cards work. So we'll take 2 here, going down to 15. Green and black. Abrupt Decay on the Archon of Emeria. Get that out of here. We can even check for... No, I'm a mana short of checking for Mindbreak. I don't think I'm supposed to play around Mindbreak Trap. Out of the turn 1 Archon of Emeria deck. I mean, if they Mindbreak me, congratulations. Dark Ritual. Lion's Eye Diamond. Burning Wish holding priority. That 3 black. Grab Peer into the Abyss. Target ourselves. Sweet. On to game 3. No plans to change anything, we're just going to resubmit. So we've opened up a fairly explosive hand, but we're on the draw. So you'd have to hope that your opponent doesn't open on Chalice of the Void or Archon of Emeria, any of that stuff. They've taken a mulligan to 6. So the way that I view this hand is that the Relay is essentially a mulligan. The Wishclaw kind of slow if they open up on Archon. So this hand is really a 5. So you could mulligan, hoping for something a little bit better. I think I'm actually going to keep it and just hope that they don't have turn 1 Archon of Emeria 3 consecutive games in a row. I know it's probably asking for a bit much, but like even if I opened up one of the 2 Abrupt Decays, it would need 2 lands as well, and it's a slow opener, but it looks like they might have it here. Chalice of the Void on 0. That hurts this hand quite a bit. Chalice of the Void on 1. So if we can draw another land, I could Pulverize. There's the Abrupt Decay. I would still need another land for that one. Cavern of Souls. And they name Archon. Oh, this is a good opening. Oh, geez. Okay, so let's grab Taiga. And now we have to hope to draw Badlands. Move to cleanup. I mean, it may seem that this game is not possible for us to win. It is actually possible. We just have to draw Badlands, and then we blow up the Archon, we Burning Wish for Pulverize, and then, you know, we're in business, but we need to hit that Badlands pretty quickly here. Instead, we'll draw Galvanic Relays number 2 and then 3 consecutively. They have land 4. I'm sorry, land 3. Land 4 is in their graveyard. We'll follow the 15 life. They have 2 cards in hand. We need our opponent to just not have anything at this point. Seasoned Dungeoneer. I believe that card is going to race me here. Because even if I draw the Badlands, I think I die before I can actually win. Draw. So next turn, minimum 5. I draw the Badlands, it's tapped. Yeah, we're dead. Okay, 1 and 2. Wump wump. It's worth noting, I don't think Brainstorm fixes what happened this match. Like, I don't want to blame it on this list being Jund. It's just like, I don't know. Sometimes you're going to lose. That happens. If you're still watching, make sure to give this video a like, comment, and subscribe. While you're near the description, here's a reminder to use our affiliate links if you're going to make a purchase from Amazon, Card Hoarder, or TCG Player. Just above those affiliate links, you'll find our social channels. Make sure to join those to connect with us. Round number 4, we're on the draw against Clog W, who exclusively plays combo decks. In our hand, like, Veil of Summer is good, but we're on the draw, and the rest of the hand doesn't really function, so I'm going to mulligan. This is good. We will keep and get rid of the second copy of Mox Opal. Okay, Clog, what are you playing today? Something with Urza Saga. 8 cast? What? They got you too? Draw? That was a good one. Dark Ritual? No. Don't counter this. They're going to force my Dark Ritual, pitching a Thought Monitor. Alright, that's a bummer. Ancient Tomb. In their main phase, they make a Construct. Opal. And Thoughtcast. They have 1 card. Burning Wish. I could relay for 4 here. I think that's probably the line. A little disappointed that they force-willed my Dark Ritual. Generally, I don't believe that's the right play against DES, but it worked here because we're on a list with main deck Thoughtseize today. I think that forcing Dark Ritual versus decks like Reanimator or Ad Nauseam Tendrils makes more sense because they have discard that can be followed up with. Our opponent just happened to be right this time. We revealed the Ad Nauseam. Okay. Unfortunately, they can go get Haywire Might right now and kill my Lion's Eye Diamond. I didn't think of that until just now. I was thinking about Needle. Let's hope that they don't have a main deck Haywire Might, I guess? Shadow Spear, okay. 1 card in hand, so it's not a force. We'll take 7 all the way down to 13. Draw. Another Lion's Eye Diamond. Mishra's Bauble. I don't think you're supposed to play around something like main deck Metallic Rebuke. Burning Wish. And we'll hold priority. Black, black. Burning Wish. Yes. Grab the Peer into the Abyss. Target myself. You could also pulverize into Ad Nauseam. Mox Opal. Keep the new one. Play a Bauble. And another. Yeah, we have plenty of resources here. Rite of Flame. Rite of Flame. Rite of Flame. Burning Wish. Yes. Grab the Pulverize. Let's look at their random card in hand. Was a Sigh. Sure. Memory's their top card. Cast the Pulverize. Lion's Eye Diamond. Lion's Eye Diamond. Burning Wish. Hold priority. We'll sacrifice for black. Okay. And now we'll grab the Tendrils. So we're going to take game number 1 from 8cast here, but it had absolutely nothing to do with our changes. So I don't think that was a meaningful game. We definitely want Abrupt Decay and the Besagus here, as well as the Ave. Then I think you can just board out Baubles. Actually, I don't want the Echoes. So let's get rid of Echo of Aeons. I'll take out the basic. And then 2 Urza's Bauble. Let's try this out. Game number 2, and we've opened up an unkeepable hand. We'll send it back. Plunk City to 5. I guess so? I mean, this isn't particularly good. 5 cards. Okay. Turn 1 Thought Monitor. They pass. Veil of Summer. Look at their top card. Seat of the Synod. We'll draw off the Mishra's Bauble. Okay. I mean, we've had 2 pretty good hits here. They play the land. Another Thought Monitor, sure. I'm gonna look at your top card first. No, they're drawing Chalice. That's a bummer. They use the Mishra's Bauble to gain a little bit of information to see if they should play the Chalice of the Void for 0 or for 1. Or if they could wait a turn and play Chalice of the Void on 2. They attack, I'll fall to 18. And here's Chalice of the Void on 1. So they'll draw a card off Mishra's Bauble, and then we'll wait. I think we just have to pass. Thoughtcast versus Saga. We're done here. Let's go to game 3. I'm too far behind. Let's submit. On the play. Cannot keep. I mean, I guess you could keep this. It's just like not a really impactful hand, unfortunately. Get rid of the Rite of Flame. Look at their top card. Kappa Cannoneer. Okay. We draw Besagus, so that beats a Chalice of the Void. Mox Opal, Mishra's Bauble, Seat of the Synod. Chalice of the Void on 1. So now they'll draw a card off Mishra's Bauble. We'll take a turn. Veil of Summer. Alright, so we want to draw something like a Lion's Eye Diamond. They have the basic. Another Mox Opal, okay. Storm 2, Mox Opal. Kappa Cannoneer, you've got it. They have 2 cards in hand. On their end step, we will blow up the Chalice of the Void. I cannot pay using 9 green mana. Fun fact. Goodbye, Chalice. Alright, they have 2 cards. Take a draw. And there's Lion's Eye Diamond. Alright, Dark Ritual. See if they'll force this again. Lotus Petal. Veil of Summer. That all resolved. I am short of Peer into the Abyss here. So I could try to race them with Empty the Warrens. We would have 12 goblins versus their 5/5. I don't know what their last few cards are. Like, if they find Shadow Spear, we're probably not winning. If their last cards are Psy, we're probably not winning. You could Echo of Aeons floating 3. I've not made a land drop. Echo's a little bit more risky in a list that doesn't have Brainstorm in it, because you just don't get to see as many cards. And the baubles are all delayed draws, so it's really Empty versus Echo here. I think the pick is Empty the Warrens. Because even if their last card in hand is Psy, they only have 2 cards. I guess 3 with the draw step, but okay. Let's hope that Empty the Warrens gets the job done. 4 mana. Chalice of the Void on 2. So that means that their Kappa Cannoneer gets larger and it can't be blocked. I'll take 6 to 14. I don't care about this Chalice. Swing 12. And our opponent concedes. So, honestly, once again, I don't think our changes mattered here. Like, we have 2 Boseiju in post-board games against Inkcast already, with 14-2. We never saw Thoughtseize in any meaningful capacity. Like, this could have just been 12 or 14-2. I don't know why I keep on saying 12. But cool. We won. We're 2-2. Let's try to finish this with a positive record and get match number 5. Want early access to articles at theepicstorm.com? Become a member of our Patreon to get articles 7 days early, on top of other sweet benefits, and help us pay our website team. You can sign up at patreon.com/theepicstorm. Round number 5 on the play. Sure, we'll keep. Having the main deck Boseiju in hand means that we're probably better against Chalice of the Void if our opponent's on a Chalice deck. We have additional protection into Ad Nauseam. That said, if this was a Brainstorm, we could theoretically upkeep Bauble Trick to cast this Ad Nauseam a little bit easier. Okay, we'll play Verdant Catacombs. We'll go search out Bayou. Thoughtseize. What are you playing? We'll take Ponder, so it's Ninjas. Okay. We're 1 mana away from Ad Nauseam. That is a mana. No attack. They have 2 unknowns. They could have drawn Force of Will by now, but I still think we're probably supposed to go for it. Fetch. We will grab Badlands versus Bauble. Let's look at their hand, or a card in their hand. We revealed the same Fairy Mastermind. Alright, Lotus Petal. Lotus Petal. Lion's Eye Diamond. And then I'm going to cast Ad Nauseam. I'm not going to sacrifice the Lion's Eye Diamond in case it's countered. I don't like this. They're fetching in response for a Brainstorm. Ad Nauseam is back on the stack. I will discard my hand of Lion's Eye. Yeah, I was right. Discard my hand of Lion's Eye Diamond. I will pay. Okay. Not a very good Ad Nauseam so far. Holy moly. We're at 7? 5? The red source would do it here. Would have to be Mox Opal or Lotus Petal. We've already played a land. Dark Ritual. Does that do it? So we get Dark Ritual, Wishclaw Talisman, rotate, and then we're 1 mana short. So we need another Dark Ritual now, could theoretically do it. A Rite of Flame could also do it. And our opponent conceded. They weren't dead yet. Let's see if it'll let me draw another card. Yeah, they actually weren't dead. Alright, we would have hit the Lion's Eye Diamond. That would have created a win. Okay. Ninjas. Or what I assume is ninjas. I'm going to board in the Ave and take out the Ad Nauseam. Ninjas tends to be a tempo deck that threatens our life total. I think it makes sense. Look at the hand on this one. Keep. We're a single mana away from Wishclaw and Galvanic Relay. Opponent mulligans and starts off with an Ornithopter. Okay. That was a terrific draw. That gives us everything we wanted. We'll fetch. Badlands. Cast a Dark Ritual. Another Dark Ritual. Wishclaw Talisman. Storm 4. Please resolve. Pretty please. I'd like to go to Slimetown. No Slimetown. Baleful Strix. So are they not ninjas? Or is this just ninjas with a lot of non-ninjas in it? Galvanic Relay. Okay. 8 cards coming off the top rope. A pair of Burning Wishes, an Echo of Aeons. Looks good to me. Polluted Delta. Okay, please don't be Null-Rod. Please do not be Null-Rod. Force of Will and a turn to Null-Rod. That was one of the few ways I could have lost this. We technically have Pulverize available here, but we lose so many resources making it happen. Rite of Flame. Burning Wish. Grab the Pulverize. Okay. That's disappointing. Play the Lotus Petal. Sacrifice it. We'll cast the Burning Wish. I'm not even sure what I'm supposed to get here. Is it the Echo? It's probably Echo. Let's look at the card left in their hand. Ingenious Infiltrator. So it is, in fact, ninjas. And then they draw a Changeling Outcast next turn. Okay, so let's see what we find. We draw for our baubles, and they weren't particularly good draws. There's the Outcast. Thoughtseize again. We'll pass. We only have 2 Lion's Eye Diamonds left in our deck. Here's the Infiltrator. Bauble them. Daze. Okay. Thoughtseize number 3. We hit the diamond, but we can't play it into a known daze. So they'll connect, we'll take it, we go to 14. They ponder. Changing Outcast is back. We did not draw the Black Source, so now they're going to start drawing 2 cards a turn. So I think we're about to get buried. Okay, they'll draw 2. They're at 7 cards in hand. They Brainstorm. Alright, they have 2 Null-Rods. That's a good point to concede, and we can go to game number 3. Let's bring in the Besajus and the Abrupt Decays. Board out 1 Opal, 2 Urza's Bauble. Let's make that Null-Rod a little bit less effective. Game number 3, we're on the play. I don't think we're supposed to keep that. The hand's so bad. Sure, I guess. I don't have strong opinions. Play the Verdant. Mishra's Bauble. Let's look at their top card. Get a little bit more information before we cast this Thoughtseize. The Baleful Strix. Badlands. And then we'll cast the Thoughtseize. Good hand, but does need more lands. I'm going to take the Force of Will and hope that they Brainstorm lock themselves. I'm just going to cycle this now. Alright, pass. Rite of Flame, Dark Ritual. Okay, so we have 5 mana on our turn. We could theoretically try to empty versus the known Plague Engineer, but if they Brainstorm into a pair of lands, that's not good for us. And we hit. I think I'm going to play it safe and just Echo instead. Rite of Flame, Dark Ritual. Looks like they're going to cast Brainstorm. Okay. Dark Ritual back to being on the stack. Okay, so I could, in theory, empty for 12 here. I'm just going to try to Echo instead. I think playing into the known engineer is just a big mistake. I could also relay. But if they have Null-Rod, I'm just going to Echo. Alright, let's spin. 3 mana floating, Storm 6. Unfortunately, I can't Thoughtseize first. I didn't draw any mana off of that. So I have to hope that they don't have a Null-Rod. Alright, Galvanic Relay for 9. Dark Ritual, Bloodstained Mire, Lion's Eye Diamond, the main deck Echo, a couple Baubles. Okay, we did not hit an Abrupt Decay. Mishra's Bauble them. Baleful Strix. Brainstorm, so that means that there will not be a Null-Rod this turn. Let's see if we can get this video over. Mishra's Bauble you. They show us an island. Okay. Let's try to win the game. Auto yield. Okay, those were 2 great cards. I realized I could have played the land from exile. I just want to get this done with. Let's go. Rite of Flame. Rite of Flame. They surgical my Rite of Flames. So they're going to get the 3rd one out of my hand. Play the Lotus Petal. Dark Ritual. Thoughtseize you. They just have a Daze. Yeah, this is going to be easy. Lion's Eye Diamond. Play a couple Baubles. Okay. Wish Claw. Activate. We'll go grab the Burning Wish. Cast the Burning Wish. Add 3 black. And the Tendrils. So this ended up being a 3-2 league, which is fine enough. But I don't think that being Jund made any sort of improvement on a record. And in fact, it just made me less trustworthy of Echo in general. I think there's room to keep on testing this list or this concept, but I'm not sure like why cutting a color necessarily makes the deck any better. Like you're a Mox Opal deck, like you naturally have a built-in 5-color mana source alongside Lotus Petals. So I'm not sure that the upside is worth it. Like the main deck Besaju never came up. Thoughtseizes in the main were meh. So I think as of right now, I'm still on board with 14.2, even though it really struggles against decks like 8-cast. Well, we beat 8-cast in this league with those cards not mattering, but 8-cast Cephalid Breakfast and Doomsday. I'm not sure if there is a good answer. The Surgicals never came up as well. I don't know. If you have any ideas, let me know. Put those in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching. Have a great day and keep storming. Hey, Bryant Cook here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, but also follow the social media channels down below. If you want to support this content directly, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/shop. And if you need a little bit of assistance with the Epic Storm to get to that next level, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/tutoring. Don't worry, there's more great content coming right up.